It's number 1132.
A picture is worth a million words.
He says his portfolio is his life's work.
His portfolio had pictures of me and major stars.
She says he hasn't worked a day in his life.
This portfolio is so important to you. Why did you leave it behind at our house for 3 months?
It's real.
I had to call the cops on her.
It's legally binding.
Why don't you stop slinging trash and lying and just stick to the truth?
Right.
It's on today's Jones and Jury.
Robert Hart, you are suing your former girlfriend, Melody Favaro, for $5,000. Now, this involves a work portfolio. What kind of portfolio is worth $5,000?
Well, this portfolio had pictures of me and major stars, like Bob Hope, Tony Bennett, Les Brown, Band of Renown.
What do you do?
I'm a sound engineer. I travel with bands all over the world.
Well, why are you suing Melody about this portfolio?
Well, after we split up, she said that, she threw it in the trash, just to get back at me. And I don't believe that she threw it away.
You think she still has it?
Yeah, I think she still has it.
Well, Melody, why don't we come over to you? Obviously, there was a relationship at some time. Do you have Robert's portfolio?
No, ma'am, I do not.
What happened to it? Do you know?
When Robert had vacated my home upon my request, he left behind numerous things, and I've been at this address since the time we moved in, and he never came back to recoup any of it. And what am I supposed to do? Store his stuff until he comes back around? I threw whatever he left there out.
How long did you have it, Melody, after he left?
About 6, 7 months. I was in a car accident, and to be out there carting somebody's trash that they leave behind, to get it out was trying to work, and being a single parent and all, I didn't really have the energy. So it sat there for quite a while.
Robert, why don't you take us back, please? Why did you guys move in together?
Okay. Well, when we first met, and she met me playing guitar with a celebrity, and we were talking, and I didn't see her for a while, and
you moved into her home.
She asked me to come. She said that she got in some trouble with some drugs, and I didn't know what exactly the drugs thing was all about, but she said she got in trouble and she wanted to straighten up her life, and she told me a lot about her life and about her when she was younger, and being a prostitute and stuff like that. I didn't. I just thought she was really sincere and honest.
Melody, is all this correct, that you had these kinds of problems early on when you were younger?
Now, when I first met this man, I was going through a lot of emotional changes. I was losing my home, my horses,
Melody,
my cars.
straight question. Did you ever tell Robert that you had a drug problem when you were younger?
Well, yeah. He
Okay.
had a drug problem, too, when he was younger.
Yeah,
All right.
I've been clean and sober 16 years.
But he's still
and
screwed up.
She's still doing it. She's still doing
Oh, yeah?
it.
Well, how many
Now,
times
Robert,
right now, Robert?
Let me
Let's do it. You're probably stoned now.
let me move past that a little bit, if you will, and I'm going to ignore the last time and just move on. Now, you obviously began a relationship where everything was okay.
Right.
Then, at some point, someone asked someone to move out. What happened, Robert?
She made me a lot of promises. She was older, so she said that she was more mature and she was more settled, and I thought that she was really sincere. Because
Melody, why do you say that? Robert, I'm going to interrupt you. Melody, why did you say that?
I lent him, I moved into my home. I paid for everything. I loaned him money to buy his medicines, to get his daughter out here. I went out and bought her a bed. I have canceled checks now right here.
Okay.
I have a journal that I kept. I took him to a therapist because this guy obviously needs help.
She did some things
and I did too.
that she wanted to help me. She wanted to help me. And she knows that I just got trashed, and after a divorce, I got another relationship.
So here he's out here trashing me right now,
No.
Will somebody at least help us with the issue of moving out? Melody, I'm going to go direct question.
Okay.
You all are living together.
I moved out because I caught her with
Robert,
drugs.
just 1 minute,
He moved out because I asked him.
Excuse me? What happened, Robert?
I caught her with drugs. You know, I give her my credit card to go buy my daughter some clothes because I had her out here. I got her in school.
You didn't get your daughter out here. I got your daughter out here, and I
was asking her why. I was asking her why. I asked her why are you doing all these nice things for me?
You had her the whole time you were with me.
She told me,
excuse me, Robert.
I never worry about money. I never worry about this.
Robert, you just said to the jury, you brought your daughter out here. Okay. Melody interrupted you and said, no, excuse me, I brought her out here. Which is the truth?
Okay, she paid for the ticket for her to come out here.
And I paid for a bed, and I did everything I could to make a nice home. I have a paper in here that we sat down and we put family rules. We were going to try and work this as a family. My girlfriend got him a job, which he lost. People would kill for this job to work in the studios because he was too damn lazy to pull his tools out.
No.
Which they never called him back because he didn't finish.
No, see, she's going to make up stories and stories and stories. And it's,
but Robert, the one story that we still haven't heard is why you moved out. Excuse me, one moment. I'm going to get from you all at some point why you moved out, why the relationship terminated, and why Melody is responsible for your missing portfolio. After this recess, we'll hear more about this relationship from a witness who says they know firsthand what happened to the missing photographs. Stay with us. We're hearing a case over a missing portfolio. At issue is whether or not the defendant kept the photographs without the plaintiff's permission. And did she throw them away? Now, James, what do you know about this missing portfolio?
Okay, I knew Bob for about 2 years, and one day I went over to his house and it was about work, and he showed me this portfolio. It was a very, very extensive portfolio with a lot of major superstars. Okay, he was so proud of that portfolio. But besides being proud of that portfolio, if any of you are in business, I'm in business for myself. I'm a contractor. First thing I do is bring my portfolio, show people projects I've done. And by the looks of my pictures and the things I've done, I get the job.
So wait a minute, what kind of job do you have, James?
I'm a general building contractor.
And are you telling the jury that in order to build buildings, people are impressed with pictures of you and famous people?
Absolutely. No, not famous pictures, not famous people. Buildings I have built.
Now, that makes absolute sense. Obviously, if you're an architect, you show people the work you've done. If you are a singer, you play audio tapes or you show videos.
This portfolio was put together by Bobby Hart over a period of about 10 years. He had pictures with President Ford, Bob Hope, and his wife.
The people that
Jimmy Stewart. Many, Tony Curtis.
I just saw you throw your hands up. Tell us what is it?
That wouldn't impress me.
Those are the people that
I can get a
hired him.
picture with a famous person.
Those are the
Well,
people
I
that
can get a
hired
picture with
him.
you.
Yes, we can stand right here. We have one right
that
now.
might impress my friends, but wouldn't impress
I
anybody
don't
else.
use it to impress my friends.
Well, you just
It shows
said
who
I don't use it.
him.
I'd hardly ever say. He used to tell me all the time when we met at Elvis impersonator, he could say, go get, because he was looking for a sound guy, and I go, no, because I knew he's a place.
I mean, that
and
may
he goes, go
impress
get it.
yourself.
I brought it anyway, and everybody,
Robert,
it's not to
will you
impress
listen
me.
to the jury's questions for just a
that may
moment?
impress yourself, but it wouldn't impress someone else that you're trying to get a job from. And you stated that
No,
you
To show who you work for, I guess
A
so.
picture is worth a million words, and that's
Fine.
what it starts. It
That
starts
just
the
shows
ball
who
rolling.
hired you.
When I show, you know, are all these pictures
Well,
of people
excuse me,
that I
Robert,
work
let me
with
just
and
interrupt
stuff,
you for a
instead of me
moment. Robert,
listing all these
Excuse
people
me.
that I work with.
These are photographs of famous people that you say you work with. Am I right? How is the person looking at the photograph able to determine that you work with them other than your word? Is it just a picture of you standing there with the gentleman?
Okay, right.
Or with
I
the woman?
understand.
Or
Well,
excuse me, Robert, let me finish because I want you to be
I know
clear on
what
the
you're getting
question.
at.
You have it?
I know what you're getting at.
Then go ahead and help us with it.
Okay, I also take pictures of everything I put together, you know, all the amplifiers in the back and stuff, and I can go through it, you know. I can go from the microphone all the way, you know, through the soundboard into the, you know, the EQs and the amplifiers out to the speakers and anything you want to know, because I'm a technician too.
Were there
And
photographs
that
of
gets
you
me
doing
work. That
these?
gets me.
Robert, were there photographs of you doing that kind of work in the
There's
portfolio?
pictures of me behind boards, you know, huge boards like at the Coliseum. I did the sound at the Coliseum for the Raiders for a season. You know,
Here's the question right
I
here,
can't
Robert.
replace that stuff.
Okay, exactly how long was it that the scrapbook or portfolio was at her house before you started to go back and get it?
I don't remember exactly. It might have been a week or so, but I went back there and I said, hey, look, she wanted to work a deal out with me. And I said, look, I want my stuff. And I don't remember what it was, but she wanted something from me. And I don't want to say it here. You know, well, I will.
My money.
You know, she wanted sex.
Oh, right.
She just wanted me. She called me for 3 months. You know, all she wanted from
your
me is
contract,
she wanted my truck. She came to me after court. She goes, look,
Excuse me, what happens to
I won't go
sex
to court.
versus the truck? Wait a minute,
I won't take you to court. I won't take you to court. Just give me your truck. I already got $10,000 invested in my truck, and I'm going to give it to her.
Excuse me, Robert. Robert, did she want sex or did she want the truck?
She wanted both. She wanted both.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Melody, if you knew that his passport was so important to him, didn't you know that his album or portfolio was also important? And why would you throw it out if you knew it was important?
Yeah.
Well, we
Because there
rented.
wasn't any value to her. Yeah. The passport had no value to her whatsoever. And yeah, it does, because she still has it. She anything antiques or anything like that, she hangs on to. But she'll tell you she threw it away because she's also a pathological liar.
Melody, why don't you answer the question?
She is.
When Robert and I rented this house was in 1993. The amount of time was, I had the stuff about 6 months before I threw it all out. Like I said, I'd been injured in a car accident, and a lot of the stuff was up in the garage.
Because she's
when he
probably
moved
stoned out of
out,
her mind.
I was at work. He moved out. When I got home, he was gone. So I wouldn't have had a chance to dig through any of his stuff or anything like
she
that.
Had plenty of time.
She was planning it at the old
got,
house.
When I was like maybe taking boxes out, she took it out because she was there. And I called the police on her to get her out of the house when I found all the drugs out. I went to get my like I said, my credit cards out, and it's all this dope fell out of her purse, you know? Little baggies of dope. And then I opened up another side where the change is, and there was all these little blue pills. And I'm going, she's doing it again. When she told me, you know, she was that part of her life was over.
Is that why you moved out, Robert? Because she was
I give her
doing
an
drugs?
ultimatum. I give her an ultimatum. I had my daughter, and I just got, you know, like custody of her. I just got, you know, it's a long story, but I just got her. People, you
Just
know,
one second. Melody has to have an opportunity to address what you've just said. She basically says you were dealing drugs or you had a large stash of drugs. Melody, what do you say?
No. He's 7 months behind on his car payment. He is here, Your Honor, to try and make up money to get his car payment and out of the garage he's living in.
Papers laying out on the floor.
You have me on probation. Excuse me. The best thing that happened to the two of you was not to be together again. Robert, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the facts of this case are in. And the case we've heard today comes down to this. Did Melody get rid of Robert's work portfolio, or did he leave it in her possession without ever saying that he wanted it back? We'll find out this jury's verdict when we come back.
On the next Jones and Jury, they hired a painter, then found their house full of strangers and thousands of dollars of jewelry missing.
Our jury was asked to decide who is responsible for Robert's missing work portfolio. Madam Foreman, please stand and read the jury's verdict.
In the case of Robert Hart versus Melody Favara concerning the portfolio, we, the jury, find with 55% of the vote for the plaintiff, Robert Hart.
55%. Now, that was kind of close there. Let me see who voted for whom. Stand up, sir. Who'd you vote for?
I voted for the plaintiff
Tell us why.
because I don't think that he told her that he didn't want his portfolio, and I don't think she had the right to throw it away.
All right, then. Let me just turn on over here. Because you voted on the other side.
Yeah,
Tell us why.
I think that he left the portfolio there and for like 3 months, like she said, or now it's 2 years later. Are you suing her now for it? I mean, she had the right to throw it away. So.
Well, that's why the jury gets to make the decision, and the jury made its decision by 55%. So I now will look at the issue of damages. Robert, you put in as evidence to the Jones and jury staff a list of 14 photographs. 12 of them were not autographed, and 2 of them were, 2 of Bob Hope and Tony Bennett. Well, we've done some independent evaluation of what those autographed photographs would be worth face value. Obviously, your portfolio had sentimental value, but you have not provided evidence to this jury that it had work-related professional value. So therefore, we will award you based on the retail value of those photographs, those 14 photographs, for a total of $362.50. We'll also give you an additional $137 for the sentimental value, a total of $500 for Robert Hart. Members of the jury, we're adjourned for today. See you next time on Jones and Jury. Goodbye.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Mondrian Hotel, featuring panoramic views from every suite, nightly entertainment, and cutting-edge California cuisine. Coming up at 1:30, the TV20 late movie is Taking Liberty, starring David Ogden Stiers and David Warner. Then at 4, stick around for the TV20 morning movie, Wait Until Dark, starring Audrey Hepburn, all on TV20.